we need God's intervention. Because there are some videos you get from WhatsApp or social media. You see small girls now. Shasha or shisha, taking shisha. Different things. Taking drugs. I was on video. They were having sex. After they had taken those hard drugs and all that, they were having sex. The boys will have sex with this girl. The other one will come. That one will go to another one. Do you know that she said the diseases they will contact from that? Pregnancy and all that. Children are vulnerable when they leave home. And that's what I always tell them. You know, that somebody will deceive you. Move, come, that place is okay for you, and all that. But when you step out, nobody will tell you to run back to your house. A lot of children are exposed. Okay, see this that case she just said. That's it. You need to do something about Igede and Benue. Igede, there is one of our members that he has been doing so much because they are from that community. The young boys there now go there to create awareness. You know, when Rescue Igede was called everywhere in Lagos, they will come. You know, they'll track that agent. You know, and deal with the agent. Because they don't send their children to school. They are the, what will I say, domestic servant country. That is the name we give that place, I tell you. And you see, when she mentioned Benue, I told her, I said, it will not pass together, you know. So, children are exposed to a lot of danger when they move out. So, if they are scared from kidnappers, those ritualists, you know, when they are spread from there, then now talk about harassment and different forms of abuse. You know, like the issue of drugs. They will tell them, they say they call it fish. They will send them to go and buy new fish. You that are standing there, you think that child is going to buy fish. It's not fish, it's hard drug. You know, they know it. And you know, from going to buy, they will start trying it, testing it, and that will destroy the child's life. One case that happened in the school, in the East, after taking that drug, the boy started to stay. His face now went to walking upstairs, thinking that he's safe. So now when people are for him to drink and get himself, he now jumped from the bathroom and died. See? You know, so there are not children are exposed to a lot of drugs when they leave home. And it's our responsibility to make sure to protect children. Government is saying that children are not their priority. They are going to take them up with that one. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Dr. Martin, I'm going to come to you now. I don't know where government secretary are their priority. But Dr. Martin, from your office of public defense, I'm sure you had some of these cases and had to deal with them. How have you been able to deal with some of these cases?
Yes, I think primarily when we get children who are to travel, we often make concerted efforts to get their parents, to try and unite them with their parents. Ideally, parents profess race with children. So we only think of secondary locality when we know the parents are not interested. And sadly, some parents will say, look, I've washed my eyes off, I don't want it. Very, very sad. Every time I hear that, feel very, very sad. Parents, often because the parents don't have capacity. At times, parents who have mental health issues, they have their own personal vulnerabilities. So, for parents who are ready to unite them, get in touch with their liaison office if they are not from Lagos. So we have the contact of most of the liaison office. We will provide the transportation going back. We also link the social worker who will meet them at the point of exit where they are going. So that's what we do. And the problem that often arise, like gentlemen sit next to me, when they are outside of Lagos, but we need to they unite them with their parents. They will give vague information. So most of them have, learning difficulties and whatever. So it's always very, very difficult to be able to. And it's even more difficult if they are outside the country because it's such a massive place. So we also get in touch with the embassy and we try as much as possible to see what else we can get in terms of trying to manage them. The other thing we do is that we get across with the community where those people come from. We have to do this community, Ghanaian communities and Lagos. I think on the side point, it's also very important to revive the Siriki of the Hausas because they have contact of all the Hausas who live there. They have their own communal informal system so that on location like this, they can also be part of it to understand the issues. That's what we do. For Lagos State, taking care of children is very, very important. It's a priority. Most of the time, when children are in danger, the Lagos State government, governor of Sanwo-Olu, is very, very keen on it. As part of that effort, we set up the state task force on anti-trafficking, give special protection to children as well. And I also know what IOM is also doing is that we set up the legal of
and know that there are laws and exists, then civil society is to put their people and ensure that
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So I'm still coming back to Sequoia and Ngozi, because the COVID-19 pandemic came with a lot of challenges for everybody, but particularly for children. In Nigeria alone, last year, for the most part of last year, children were out of school. Some of them had no form of learning. Some of them would go back because they were already working to pay for their families. And there were many cases of gender-based and sexual violence, which were even referred to as the shadow pandemic. I mean, we heard so much on the news about it, and so on. There are also ongoing conflicts in parts of Nigeria that led to displaced children, orphan children, and these are many more factors. We have increased the desire of some children to migrate from their communities of origin. So how do we address these growing disparities? Mr. President. So we're just trying to find a way for
more children were vulnerable. The time that we have gone to school in the morning, avoided certain people, they are home with such people who were now abusing them. So we need to run away from home or some place in certain places. And we can't run away from that. So I want to still go back to the government, where we have Nigeria has one of the best laws ever on any kind of issue documented. Basically, with I think it has to do with now the implementation of issue. That's why we are partnering. I think partnership is very clear. We want people that can come on board better, because all these things we're talking about is somewhere in one document. And every office has access to it. But how do we get it done? Issue. Like that in our organization, I went between USC, and we were going just to feedback on what we say. Don't say about sometimes we come from universities because they were the ones that started in the first instance. The ones that paid the order and said, go to this country and bring money. And you bring the child back and you say, you are coming back to do what? So the families were actually against that child. I don't want that child to come back because it was like a failed migration attempt. I think I sold my land in my place to send it to another country. They are coming back. What are you coming from and do there? You better find your way back and get it back. So the family, so when we talk about best interest of children, those protection like that, so family not. Yes, we have good shelter that we can put this together. Now, always know that I my area. We have part of it. Not COVID-19. The shelters are full. And the home started around to bring the child back. The shelters are full. We have to put this place there. So, talk about government looking for partnership. Civil society is pushing, like I said, pushing for for policies to be implemented. They push more. And they are pushing. But they have to push more because they are powerful. For me, very well now. I can't take sides. I'm not partisan. We are here to, because the government invited us as doing certain things. But we are partners for development. But we can't push in that direction. That's why I would like civil society to present. I don't have to answer the question.
Yes, there are. I just want to get the response from it. Just 1 minute, please. Okay, so the growing insecurities that came with the COVID-19 pandemic, especially for children, increasing their desires to migrate to meet their communities of origin.
The issue of COVID-19, migrant children. Remember that time. Government is working. I agree. Like Sami listed what is it now? I said they listed their paper. Implementation is the cocoa. And when I'm talking about government, children must be priority. Please don't let me explain before you kill me. You see, my organization and organization were mandated to go and track budgets for children. We went to the Lagos State Alausa, and we went to Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget. We drove us to the local government. We go to the local government. Please explain to us what budgets. You have budget for things that concern children. They said it's not their priority. So before that, I was one that invented that word priority. Children not being priority. They say it's not that they have when they give them and they have their priorities. I said, so children are not your priority. They say they do children's celebrate Children's Day and then spelling bee. Can you imagine spelling bee? When you have children that are orphans in that local government, children who need health care, okay, like part of the right of the child, children's participation, the children's parliament, they are there. You need to empower them to create awareness in communities and all that. This issue of child protection, it's supposed to be under the grassroots because the children live in communities.
Yes.
And you're saying that children are not of priority.
Dr. Martin wants to respond to that.
I'll forgive you, state.
Dr. Martin, please, 1 minute to respond to that.
Like that during that COVID, we had to go out to child protection network. We contributed money. We were cooking and we were carrying it to Osho. Come and see. Even we had to invite police to help us share the food, including the police and CPM member. We had to run away because the crowd went to different strategic places where you have the children.
Street children.
Yes.
Please let Dr. Martin just respond in 1 minute, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
People should always give us time to talk.
The adoption which are made in relation to children being returned to the family. These are situations where the family are not the perpetrators. Their children surreptitiously escape from home. So we only reunited those and assist parents to enhance their parenting skills. So it's not a general rule that children get reunited to the family, where the family are the I think I mentioned that. Madam, I think there are about 57 LCDA in Lagos State. I don't think you engage all of them. So you can't make a sweeping assumption that local governments are more interested in the welfare of children. I know I don't work for local government, but I know in all local government and LCDA, you have a child protection unit, and officers are seconded there from the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. And I've had us to engage them as the dinner of assistance. Of course, the facilities, the amenities, and everything will be enhanced. Definitely, there's room for improvement, but the service does say children is not parents.
There's always room for improvement. Yes. I mean, we can't do enough. We want to get reactions from 2 CSOs. Please, reaction on the vulnerabilities of children. Just 2 CSOs. Please, Mr. Shobayo, and who is raising their hand for CSO? Are you representing a CSO? Okay, the man in red tie. Are you from a CSO? Please, he will be the second person. Please, we'll have other questions that we will react to. Please, the man in red tie. Where are you from? No.
Bow tie.
Gray. Oh, sorry, bow tie. Sorry. Where are you from? CSO. Where is he from? Please, we want 2 reactions. Mr. Shubayo and the man in red bow tie, please. We have other questions and we'll still get more reactions from participants. But we're trying to save time.
Okay, very much. My name is Shubaya from Shubaya Foundation. Permit me to say my reaction will cut across a little. First, I want to react to Mr. Olakone and saying I agree with him that we need to have, when we have programs like this, our organization can help facilitate boys and girls from underprivileged society to attend. It will be a great deal in their life. It will show that we really care about them. I also agree with Mr. Polisani that speaks about Oyo State. Out of, when we interview a lot of them, like Madam said in Damien, Eke, Oyo State and the suburb around there, that when the kids migrate from the north, we need to also do something kind. I agree with Ms. Okoyemi talking about creation of more shelters, because at times people just do like a face value solution. We need to get some of those boys and girls off the street for us to be able to help them properly. They are always on drugs to hide them. They even have people who sell drugs among them. So they are very, very vulnerable. They are very, very exposed. And some of them once confessed to me that, you know what, when we want to fight, people just want to fight. Colorado is something that you don't play with. I only take Colorado when I want to fight. The adrenaline is very high for me. Even when I got stabbed, I wouldn't know the feeling. So this for me, the extent of things we have out there is a kicking time bomb that we need to act on. I once met a 10-year-old boy, and the first question I asked him was, what do you do? Actually, every dog I know, this boy has been able to take it. You can see from his deeds that this guy is always on something. And this boy told me, he said, I'm willing to go back to school. I asked him, can you read? He went to me frankly in English. And if you see his look, you can't believe it. But this is one of the things we are asking for. We need organizations like you to tell us how to collaborate. We have access to them. Madam said when she went there with police, they cannot get them to do that. You won't get them whether you police. When we go there, because one, I know of the Muslim, and because we know some of their guys, we will get them orderly. They will line up, they will listen to us. So we need collaboration on how to get this thing done. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, we know you now, we already have a rapport with you, so we'll collaborate. See, this Colorado you mentioned, I heard about it this morning. I was having a discussion at home, and it's another level of cocaine. It's mixed with, I don't want to mix this, but they're constantly high, and you will not be hungry. They will not eat, they will be numb. You'll be numb for like 15 minutes, you can't do anything. It's crazy. I mean, the state of drugs among our young people is crazy. Please, let's have the other reaction so we can move on. Please, 1 minute, thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is I'm a survivor of child. I know what it is. Because then, I know that for giving me money, they have to
walk up and down looking for support to I was whatever I have opportunity of going to school. And it's by the grace of God I went to school. So today, we talk about the legal framework. Those legal framework, as far as I'm concerned, is a paper, ordinary paper that is written down by people. Why can't we go to Marco where those victims in fact, over 1,000 community pounds is there, and I can even show you on YouTube. So, all these things we're talking about, I have led to governor of Lagos State, the current governor. He said he will support me, he will do this to make sure that no child remain on the street. But all these things are just on the paper. President before. For us, the cause of this problem. How can we arrest the perpetrators? That is my question.
We appreciate the feedback and we will definitely take it to the appropriate quarters. Thank you very much. We are moving to the challenges for stakeholders. Now I'm coming to MRC and EdTech. I mean, we are doing, but we can do more. There's always room for improvement. In 2018, Save the Children International, they carried out a study on why children stay in their communities. They carried out a study in Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, and Zambia. They interviewed 120 children aged 10 to 19 in their various communities. And some of the factors these children identified as reasons for them remaining in their communities include being in school and completing secondary education, eating more than one meal per day, being able to identify someone who acts
happy that we have this interaction. So when people say government, I always tell them government is you and I. ION established the Migrant Resource Center to be an information hub. And then there's the labor migration policy and other migration policies where we have stakeholders from all organizations that can address these issues to do the kind of thing that we are doing. So if you say government isn't doing anything, I ask again, this is a government facility. Half of us here are governments. IOM is an international governmental agency. We are having a conversation. We need to move from this is the problem to how can I be a solution. What can be done more is to work on how we implement our policies. All the policies that have to do with children on the move Labour administration, shelter for refugees, displaced persons, persecution for offenders. CSOs have a very, so that we can cascade. Everybody knows what their mandate is. It's very, very important. The future is about collaborations and partnerships. We cannot walk the old way. Everybody has to come on board and say, okay, this is my challenge. This is what I can do. If everybody comes with what they can do, we already have the legal framework. Within the legal framework, then we begin to implement the process. So we move away from this is what somebody is doing and this is not what. They are all governments. If we look at the number of governments and the number of people on the other side, the government is probably 1 or 2%. So if you are not coming to say government, you have this framework. This is what I have in my plate. How are we going to run it? We are all going to keep going in circles, blaming ourselves. IOM has presented a forum for us to be able to have this engagement. We have children here. We are doing a lot of advocacy. We just do more. We have more CSOs living here. Most of the CSOs will go back and say, you know what? Let's all converge. SFRMI has events here. Anybody can just come and say, look, based on this, what can we do? We know that the bottom line is employment. And that is why labor is also very strategic. So that what everybody else doing becomes a possible, then put it together, and then we are able to reduce the incidents that even create situations like children on the move.
Thank you, Mr. Alex.
Thank you very much. I think Madam has actually said and created this collaboration. It's important that government is not just the government institution. We are all partners. We are all supposed to be listening together. We need to, as CSOs, we need to be aware of the existing frameworks, legal frameworks, national immigration policy, the NCFI Act. A lot of all these acts have all these things that we're talking about. So if you are aware of these things, you know which agency to go to address that situation. If you know that, okay, when you have issues with IEPs, displacement, NCFI, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and IEPs exist, then you go to them and then see how we can collaborate together to get these things. I'm happy that I'm here, especially from Shona as well. You will say that yes, it's open to collaborate with government institutions. That is what I believe every CSO should take away from here. One of the takeaways is that you can collaborate with government agencies to see these things. So you're sitting back and complaining that nothing is happening, I spoke to this person. Collaborate with government agencies, keep disturbing us, advocating, disturbing us until we get out of our hands and work and get things. The news of government sometimes like dying slowly, but eventually we need to grind and we need to see results.
Thank you, Mr. Alex. So I want to get two more reactions from, two reactions from partner agencies. IOM has taken one. So can we take one more? That's it. So IOM.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to say that, just to profess some solutions, please. When we're talking about sensitization, migration generally is not the bad thing. However, you should migrate other than say in the so people will always migrate. I think we should do certain things. I just postulate the idea of the government ministry of education. I think this is the curriculum for those at the school. Just a small session about migration and what you should do when you want to migrate and the agencies you can work with. I'm thinking national organization agencies have a lot of work to make selection to meet people that are in need. It's very expensive. It's expensive to do flyers, to do news, to have fees, but I think that agency is something that is they're everywhere. So we can engage radio stations, we can engage television, we can engage social media, and I think we should work with them more regularly to push these things and this messages forward. I think the issue is ignorant and it's causing a lot of our problems. If I have an issue, where do we go to? If I'm not where do I go to?
That's true.
Then how do you know that? I love that because I work with God with my needs. But many people don't know. I went to Ibadan to do a training, for people that say that work with people of family. And they could not completely say that they have worked with that. They don't even know anybody that talks. So I'm wondering, how many of you people are not raising that? So I think that's the information that is.
So Fatima from IOM also wants to add to Mr. Koyene's response. Please let's have Fatima, then we'll have Mr. Fred from Nancy. Thank you. Please 2 minutes each.
Thank you for the opportunity. I just want to add as a rider on the issue of sensitization, because for us also is like one of the major components for IOM, working to create sensitization on the issues of irregular migration and travel. Like we've all said, if that's knowledge is not there on how people can migrate, right, they keep falling into the dangers of traffickers. So for IOM as an organization, for example, we've been working with NOA, which is like the agency that was established with the responsibility of creating awareness of issues of irregular migration, and other agencies like NAPTIP as well. So if we take this sensitization programs to community levels, you'd be surprised that even at grassroots and community levels, people don't have the right information on how to migrate. And I can tell you, agencies like National Orientation Agency is one of the agencies in Nigeria that has presence in the entire local government in the country. So you would find a national orientation office at each local government in the country. So that place of collaboration also for sensor organizations is highly important. Knowing the right agency to key into, the right agency to collaborate with in order for us to create awareness.
Thank you, Ms. Fatima. Mr. Fred.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I just want to lend my voice to the fact that the partnership is quite key in the fact that there is trafficking and migrants. And I want to make it so big as even IOM as is recording. I think today my office went out and the public and likely to it. And my department went out today on a Blue Bus project as big as BRT, sponsored by IOM. We go to the village, sorry, to the communities within Lagos here. And one interesting thing that one of the first ever that kind of project, it has audio video inside, where in the process of carrying out awareness program, victims or anybody better victims to come into make advice and their counsel in the process while the learning goes on. It has anti-human trafficking and deliver messages all over the body and some other things. Then you have to cross-screen a project very well. So what I'm trying to say, we are doing much, and don't forget, not to say not like others. In crime, even if somebody is arrested as a now and killed, it also saw that person coming up. So when we see some of these things, we should not forget that it is a crime and you can't eradicate crime. You can't, otherwise, in places like European countries, we won't be saved more. So that does not mean that we are not doing much. Migrant Resource Center, National Refugee Commission, brought together. Also, IOM has a program. All of us are involved. Migrant Resource Center is there. National Refugee Commission is also there on community dialogue, where people were trained to run a home solution, and it's not going. So we are doing what, and I want to quickly answer what you say. Look, Madam Ngozi, you mentioned about Benue. As in my first to know, about 2 cases we got conviction this year are connected to Benue State. So we are doing much prosecution in awareness and casting of these activities. We are doing what is thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Fred. I mean, from all this reaction, we've been able to realize that collaboration is very, very important. Partnership with CSOs, other government agencies, we can't do it alone. And Migrant Resource Center is also, collaborating with its partner agencies, IOM, NGC, and so many other agencies in preaching the gospel of safe migration. We go to school, we go to communities, but we've learned that there's still more to be done. So the final round of questions now, we want to talk about the way forward. In that same report I talked about, Save the Children International Report, some of the push factors the children highlighted as the most influential in leading to their migration were violence, abuse and conflict at home, harmful work, a desire to learn a trade or skill to improve family prospects, harsh living conditions, including lack of adequate food, clean drinking water, and remoteness. So, not even for children, even adults have these push factors. A lot of people are checking out of Nigeria because of issues like this. And in addition, unemployment, there are so many other issues. Now, the first set of questions, or the first question, I'm addressing it to MRC, NTF Paramount, and Dr. Martins from the Office of Public Defender. Most of these factors that these children highlighted have been addressed in the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. We have SDG1, ending poverty in all forms, SDG2, end hunger, SDG3, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education, SDG5, achieve gender equality, and so on. So where's Nigeria and the achievement of these goals? First. And secondly, what are the short-term actions or policies that we can begin to implement in order to speed up the achievement of these goals, to address these push factors that children are talking about, that is making them think of migrating, of leaving their country of origin. So where are we, and what can we begin to do to address these push factors?
That's a very, very open-ended, where are we? I'll say we're in a good place because we are having this conversation. We have approximately maybe 80 to 180 to 100 people there. MRC is existent, LAPTIP is existent. We have the NCFRMI is here. We have a lot. We've mentioned so many organizations. We've been able to establish that we are not, we need a lot more to Lagos State Government, Office of the Public Defender, SAP, especially, I said especially because, in the migration circle with those of us that are being able to connect, we have discovered, at least I have discovered here, that it's important we come and discuss with the office so that we understand our implementation templates, their processes for us in addressing the issues that concern all of us. And we always start, for instance, at the MRC, we can't implement our programs the way we traditionally do it as civil servants, because we have been able to identify that the first bridge to cross is to buy the trust of the public. The public has a mindset about the civil service. If we don't reduce or eliminate that mindset, we are not going to make a lot of impact. So to that extent, IOM has been able to establish a structure that has enabled the stakeholders to have a relationship. To have a relationship with stakeholders within the migration circle, which should be expanded to probably every Nigerian, because we all have the right. And we go through something that is called the psychosocial support. So we first unlearn and relearn. We all unlearn what
So we can always fine-tune what we're doing and what better and do. So let's education development. We have good intention for children and our parents.
Dr. Martins.
Yes, I think I want to reiterate the Lagos State government also has special advice on sustainable food. So that means there's a policy trust built around achieving all these goals. And it's very, very important for all the agencies to make sure that whatever we're doing, we're mindful of the different 21 of them. So all these sustainable and reflecting on our work, make things are agendas of the government. That's one of the reasons why I'm here, because I want the opportunity to meet all the relevant stakeholders has to do with child operation. Ordinarily, I was meant to be in hospice now, but I put these states today. I had to come here because we give you an opportunity to
Thank you,
meet
sir.
people who are in relevant sector dealing with issue of child migration. So my office is very, very focused on collaboration.
Thank you, sir.
Focus,
So we want to have a balanced perspective. This question. So I'm going to take response from two CSOs. The lady in white lace dress, she has raised up her hand. Please, can someone give her the mic? CSOs and the woman at the back in glasses, she has raised up her hand as well. So those two. So, in your opinion, where is Nigeria on the achievement of sustainable development goals, and what short-term actions can we be implementing to address the push factors that these children identified?
Thank you very much. My name is Comfort Onyaka from Plies Foundation. So, from the sustainable development goal point of view, I'll pick on goal 17, which is partnership for sustainable development goal. So, as an organization, right, we've been working across communities to implement several livelihood enhancement programs. And one of the things we identify is, child labor. And in 2019, I would like to say this, we're able to leverage private sector resources to address this at least. So in terms of partnership, while we're looking at partnership with international organizations, government institutions, and all, there's a place for the private sector, right? So for instance, we have financial institutions and other private sectors who carry out CSRs. They are in these communities. So how can we leverage their resources to address this issue? And currently, we as an organization has adopted the multi-sectorial approach to addressing not only child labor, human trafficking, and other issues. So now I would like to also say that there's also pertinent to also look at these financial institutions. What kind of financial facility do they give to private companies, and what are these resources used for? So, for instance, financial institutions give loans to, let me say, people in the cocoa value chain. And if you go down to the community where these loans are utilized to cultivate or develop the various segments of the value chain, you see that children are also involved in exploitative labor in these communities. So we also need to look at that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sis, I'm giving to the Reverend Father from Don Bosco. When we started, he wasn't here. So we acknowledge your presence, Reverend Father. You want to make a remark? 2 minutes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. And I apologize for coming late. We had an issue in the office. Just to be very fast, I do not stand here to criticize or to say who is doing work or who is not doing work. It's one of the languages we've learned, not to criticize much, but to commend what could be done. For some time now, we've been in contact with the Migrant Resource Center because we're running different initiatives, ranging from assisting voluntary return migrants, creating awareness. Then also we are hugely involved in the Street Children program, and it will interest you to know that we are strong providers of Tibet delivery. About and also check on Google, and you'll find a lot about our offerings. So we have very strong growth. Very, it's not so it requires if we form a strong coalition or if we form a strong cluster members who are truly interested. And I think this is where, in terms of state goals, all based organizations part and in terms of dealing with this problem. So we need to have this aspect of information. It's only after have that we can fully bring organizations together and see how we can pull resources together, even our expertise, because sometimes it's not just about money, from what we have discovered from our experience, but how to pull resources and expertise together in order to tackle this phenomenon. And also, it will please you, time is very limited. Also, that we, the Salesians of Don Bosco, have a special seat in the UN. And I was privileged to take part in the recent UNTOP conference that happened remotely. And it's beautiful to know that there are lots of CSOs, and even the report from Nigeria was quite encouraging. But there is still one challenge we're having. We have a lot of paperwork done nicely, prepared, but the implementation is a challenge. And this is where the CSOs, not just the CSOs, but the faith-based this kind of data.
Thank you. I grew up in Akure, and as a young girl, I remember Don Bosco. Everybody knew Don Bosco Technical College. So Don Bosco is doing very well and doing wonderfully well. Thank you so much for your contribution. So we'll take the last response from the lady in classes. She's been raising up her hand. Please, 2 minutes, please. We're rounding up now.
Everyone, my name is Omolara Olawale from Grace Spring Rehabilitation. And our core area is working with the street children, especially the boys under the bridge. And we have a center at Bebeju where these boys come in daily, both boys and girls. And we have been to the sustainable goal of no hunger. One of the things we do is feeding these boys, and you have all the amenities there. They have places where they can have their basic, have their baths, and also clean up, wash their clothes. And also we have a mini location right in that center where we taught them various locations such as tailoring. We have hairdressing, barbing, also machine knitting, and also tie and dye and catering. Also, what we do also, we counsel the students and we also send them back to the parents. Just like this Monday, there were 2 girls that walked into our center. One of these things is that they know that anytime they come into our center, they will find some of them, they once they are lured by their friends, like you met Mr. Sonny mentioned, peer influence. By the time they come to our center, and by the time they come down to Lagos, and they find themselves on the streets with no place to overboard, they are exposed to different dangers. They always want to come go back home. So two of these girls walk into our center and say they are ready to go back home. But what you will find out that most of them are from Oyo State, particularly Ibadan. And we made a move. The new commissioner of youth and in Ibadan, we tried to link him up to see how we can collaborate with Oyo State, because majority of the children are from Oyo State. Well, the children that we encounter, so that they can, find something to do, so that they want to find out why most of them are always running down to Lagos. And the parents of those girls, they call us, they called, because we told the children, once you get home, we want to hear from your parents. And we told them, please don't let them come back. The parents, they didn't even know when these children came down to Lagos. So, these 2 girls, they don't even have any reason to come, because they're in school. And one was one is he said his mother is staying with the grandma. So why are you here? Is your grandma away? He said no, she's not. She just decided to come to look for her friend, in Lagos. And also this is my first time of hearing of migrant resource center. I don't know how we can collaborate, and we are open to collaboration.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's confirmed one of the factors Mr. Poleson mentioned. Peer influence. Imagine these girls, their caregivers did not even know that they were out of the vicinity and they were here in Lagos. So thank you so much for the work you are doing, and MRC is happy to collaborate with you as well. And we also want to recognize the importance of the faith-based institutions, like the Reverend Father said, especially in ending hunger. There is this church in Palomar, I think Church of Assumption. They also provide food, I think daily, for the street children under Palomar Bridge. So faith-based institutions are also doing a lot. And like we said, like you rightly said, collaboration is the way forward. We can't do it on our own. We have to pull our weight. Everybody must pull their weight. Now, the final question is still way forward, but from the social perspective. And I'm directing this question, I think, and the students. Students, are you still there? Are you still there? Okay. So, from the report I was talking about, parents, teachers, and caregivers, they obviously have a huge role to play in the decision of children to migrate or to stay back in their communities of origin. So one of the factors children are like in recognizing at least one parent of one caregiver in their family or in their home. Now, what actions can these parents, teachers, or caregivers can they take to provide a safe space for children to dream and realize their potentials in their community of origin?
Already, my last word I wanted to say is about family value. Reason why most of these children run away is because there is trouble at home. And as CSOs and government, and especially faith-based organizations, there are a lot of problems in the family. Husband and wife separate. Nobody's talking about the well-being of the children. Children are pissed off at home because she's only mother and she cannot provide for all of them. So they have to move out to look for how to survive. So we should target the families. I don't know what problem that cannot be resolved within the family. I always tell those who come to me, I say, these children are not responsible for your trouble. You are the one that brought them. So what is their business? You see, they are using the children to set baits and that. You don't know? Children suffering. That's why you interview most of the street children. They're from divorced families and all that. And then they will push them to their grandfather or grandmother and all that. You know, if we target the family, if we have peace in the home, even if a man and a woman they are having misunderstanding, don't leave the children alone. Still provide for them. Still provide for them. The man will run away and leave the woman with the children. So who will take care of your responsibility? It will start from the family. Family for us, for the children to feel at home, safe. Let family be united first. Be united. The children will feel comfortable at home and they will relax. And again, you see, communication is important in the family. Parents, do you communicate with children? Do you marry them alone? Always ask. You see a woman, only that share 40,000, she can't borrow money to buy a share. You are the child is asking for 200 naira.